Why at 40 years old, I never have and never will be married.
This one seems to be a great one, so let's dive right in.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Scotty's Side. Thank you for joining me today. Today I'm going to talk about why at 40 years old, I never have and never will be married. So I knew from a very young age, probably around 9 or 10, that I didn't want to get married and also that I didn't want to have kids. And in that 30 years, that mindset has not changed one bit. Now, I'm not saying that marriage is impossible. I've seen some work out, obviously. I'm sure most of you have. And how I've seen them work is when the woman is essentially head over heels for a guy.
Yeah.
That, like, this is the baddest motherfucker I can find and probably ever will find. Alpha widowing, if you want to call it that.
Red pill,
She
baby.
has to think you're the shit for your whole life.
Yes,
That's the
sir.
only time I've seen it work. The only time I've ever seen it work is when she figuratively looks up, and I guess physically too, looks up to the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Tell him.
even from that young age, people around me were getting divorced. People that said they loved each other so much. Blah, 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 blah. I'm sure a lot of you have heard that shit too. Maybe it's even been said to you by a previous girlfriend, wife, etc.
Mm-hmm.
I had seen that. And I believe the first one I really saw personally was my uncle. Man, just how hard and fast he fell for a woman.
Mm.
And which was partially that's on him too. You know, you can't fall that head over heels that fast and the bitch is gonna think highly of you. It's just not gonna happen. You know, I knew she, even at that young age, from an instinctual gut thing, that you can't act like that. You can't be that. You gotta be the guy. You gotta be the man. So I saw that,
I got red pilled not just by myself, but a whole bunch of men when I used to work as a bartender during college. And the regulars would come in with their lives destroyed, trying to find peace at the, bottom of a bottle every single day. Dude, it'd be like Monday, we just opened. Tuesday, we just opened. They're there having a drink, trying to have a conversation, telling me about their shitty day, super miserable, bitter about everything, how they lost it all. Wife's fucking some dude in their house. It's the amount of stories, bro. They're crazy. Or dudes like forced to live in their cars, still going to work, busting their ass. If they miss one payment, they're going to jail. The court bias is insane. The amount of shit I've heard, it's made me swear off marriage. I mean, unless you found a really traditional woman that is not from the United States of America, I would not get married. Absolutely. Nope. Because the court biases are too strong. The cultural pressure on women to have their cake and eat it too, cherry on top and beyond. The cherry on top's not even good enough anymore. They have to have some kind of unicorn lifestyle. That's impossible for everybody to get down on their knees and praise and worship them on social media. Because if you're not getting her flowers like that one TikTok or reel that she just watched, if you're not on a private jet with her, if you didn't buy a fucking private island, bro, you're a failure as a man and she deserves better. And she's going to dump your ass. I mean, women have been bamboozled with social media to look for a guy that doesn't exist in real life. Unfortunately, we're ending up with a ton of spinsters, cat ladies, dog moms, whatever bullshit they want to call themselves, as they're coping with the reality that the man they want simply doesn't exist. He's a figment of their imagination on social media. But we can't tell them that because we live in a society where we've infantilized women to the extent where they can't be held accountable for any of their actions. So telling her she got fat That's a no-no. Telling her that the man she wants doesn't exist, that her standards are too high, that she needs to be more realistic with what she wants. Can't tell her she's a strong, independent boss babe. She deserves it all. Yes, queen. And they literally, like crabs in a bucket, unfortunately, gas themselves up so much that they're guaranteeing each other to completely fail. It's so fucked up watching it as a man from the outside in. And hardly any women say anything. And do you know why? Because it's not even worth it. If you do speak up and try to save women from their own destruction, they'll just call you misogynist pig, you hate women, yada yada, and the rest. If you're a woman and you try to speak up, you've internalized misogyny, you're setting us back 100 years. She hates women, blah, 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 blah. She's patriarchy adjacent. All the stupid leftist woke terms you could possibly think of will get injected in the conversation while they plug their ears and just start singing la, 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 because they don't want to hear it. Their worldview will come crashing down all over them. Hey, you got turned into a masculine version of what a woman is supposed to be. Hey, you're too manly and men don't want you. Hey, any decent guy doesn't like tattoos, bull rings, pink hair, loud mouth, aggressive, always fighting, confrontational, adversarial attitude. Everything you were taught to be is a complete turnoff for men today. That is why you get pumped and dumped. That is why you get ghosted. And that is why you'll never have a ring. It's like the girl version of an incel. As a man fails to get sex, they call him an incel, yeah? As a woman that fails to get married, to have a man to ask for marriage, to want to take care of a woman for the rest of her life, something went horribly wrong there. If you don't have a ring on your finger, you're not a strong, independent boss babe. You're a chick that got left behind. Of all the men you had sex with, of all the men you gave your body away to, not one wanted to stick around. That's the female version of an incel. Catastrophic fucking failure. And no, I'm not going to do what the rest of society does and pat you on the back and tell you just get a cat, some box wine, everything's good, decenter men from your... No, you're a failure. You failed horrifically. And you will not be happy. You can cope with wine and hug your little cat all you want. Your mascara still stains your bed sheets at night. We know the truth. You're not happy. That is why you have to reaffirm your happiness on TikTok videos to the rest of the world. How much you don't need men. And when the camera turns off, all you do is cry into your pillows. Your white pillows practically turn black now. That's how much mascara is on there. Don't worry, your cat will come to cuddle you. It's fucking pathetic, bro. Get a fucking grip.
One of my other uncles, he got divorced. My aunt got divorced. Then one of my other uncles, he was widowed. So that's a totally different thing. But then, I mean, he got married again, like real fast. And it wasn't the same. That relationship wasn't the same because he just couldn't be alone, I guess. And look, I understand it's tough, especially if you're widowed. I mean, I should say I understand because I've never been in that situation. Yeah, that'd be really tough. But you can see that I was experiencing all this divorce around me from a very young age. And so it made me really question everything and made me go, maybe this isn't such a good idea. And I also had friends where their parents were divorced and there was like a stepdad, a stepmom, whatever in the situation. I even had a few kids say to me, wow, your parents are still together. And I mean, this was back in like early 90s and shit like that this was going on. So it's just all of this personal experience and what I'm seeing, literally what I'm seeing. Family members, friends of friends, just hearing my parents and friends talk about it to each other. It was all over the place. And this was 30 years ago, man.
Imagine now, that was 30 years ago. Imagine what's going on now. It's just crazy, right? It's crazy. We are getting to an era where marriage is already being a thing of the past. So we're getting to an era with social media where people will no longer be staying in marriage, and marriage is no longer making any sense, especially for men. For women, it makes a lot of sense because they are looking for it as a source of security, as a source of somebody to take care of them as they get older, as they can work any longer. Some of them are very lazy. They don't want to work. So for women like that, they need marriage. But for a man who can work, who can earn his own money, and who is looked upon as a provider, and then he gets married to a woman who is going to cheat on him and who is going to practically ruin his reputation, who is practically create havoc. He cannot focus on his goals because the woman is not creating a peaceful environment for him to focus on those goals. It's not a good deal. So most men are looking at it and say, okay, what is the need of all of this? What is the essence of all of this? If you look at famous musicians, movie actors, like successful people, most of them nowadays are saying no to marriage, and most of them prosper, they achieve a lot because they don't have this distracting environment that's created most of the time by a woman who doesn't love you, a woman that doesn't listen to you, a woman who doesn't follow your lead. Because trust me, when you get married to a woman that follows your lead, marriage becomes a good thing because now you have spiritual support, you have a cheerleader. But anything other than that is just a huge distraction. It's an environment that will ruin your success. It's an environment that will drag you down. Okay, so you've heard it. Some women have brought down kings. Women have brought down empires. Okay, so this is not a joke. So this is a huge decision. If you're a man looking to get married, you need to pay attention to videos like this. You need to vet the women you want to get married to. You need to take your time. If you are young, I would say push marriage to when you're getting older. Take all of that youthful energy and focus on achieving your goals. You can have girlfriends, but you're not supposed to get married to them. Get established, achieve the worth you want to achieve, do all of the things you want to achieve, and then postpone marriage and vet your woman carefully, because trust me, that's the best advice I would have given myself if I was 20 years old. Okay? So this is golden stuff. This is something that most men need to watch, because this is great advice right here, because the right woman is going to enhance your life, take you from nothing to something, really, really help you achieve your goals. And in return, she will benefit from the person you become. But the wrong woman is going to destroy you. Even if she met you when you were high up there, she's going to pull you down. Okay, so be careful, guys.
You know, I can't imagine what it is now. It's obviously worse if you look at the stats, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I know before all the femoids and tards come into my comment section saying that all of us MGTOW guys are all incels and everything like that. No. This kind of stuff that we all experienced in some form or fashion, it was just what I was seeing around me. A lot of guys have experienced first fucking hand and still feel it today because their divorces fucked them up, fucked them over. You know, I don't think it's any wonder what's going on today, why no one's getting married. And this kind of thing, firsthand, secondhand experience is what's causing this. It's not safe or wise for a guy to get married, even to the point of living with a girlfriend. Because there's still a risk of some shit that she's going to pull and say that you were abusive and blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen that firsthand too. Guys getting accused of shit and finding out later that it wasn't true. So that's why I never will and never.
And the most egregious ones are where a divorce proceeding is ongoing and the woman, the mother, will say that the father inappropriately touched the kids or abused them in some way. And the courts do not like hearing that, even as an accusation with no proof. Boy, oh boy, you got to prove yourself innocent, and will weaponize that story against. Seen it happen plenty of times. And imagine what the friends and family are going to think when word of that goes out. Man, oh man. It gets rough, boys. Your little unicorn, the woman you thought loved you, can turn into a straight demon. That's the truth.
Have no way, pal, will I get married. So Let me know your experiences. I want to hear them in the comments. Anything about not being married and divorced, just having a girlfriend and having some kind of rough experience with that. I really want to hear about it. I want your take in the comments below, please. Like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. We really appreciate it. I love you all. Please take care of yourselves and each other. I'll talk to you next time.
Okay, for the comments, my uncle just turned 72, never married, never had offspring, never cohabitated. Happiest man I know. It's better to be single and wish you were married than being married and wish you were single. Ooh wee. Happy life equals no wife. You see the mentality? How many men have been burned? It's quite crazy to see that in comparison to the rest of the world. Men are in love, women are in business, married once and never again. Women can be very dangerous. 36, never married, never had kids, never will. Women have cost me all my adult life's time, energy, and resources for absolutely nothing in return. Being alone is incredibly peaceful. Yeah, but what we got to say is the reason it is this way is because you're not that alpha dude. It makes no sense for a normal guy to get married or have a long-term relationship today because eventually she wants to stray because you're not her first choice and you negotiated attraction in some way or another, either busting open your wallet or giving her too much time or very little in return from her, and she begins to abuse those privileges. It happens, boys, all the time. That's why you got to go overseas, maximize your attractiveness in other countries where you're considered a high earner and exotic. This is why so many dudes, specifically white guys, go to Southeast Asia because they're looked at as, the cream of the crop over there. And they have women that feel lucky to be with them. And so they get treated that way too. Because the degenerate standards of the West no longer make sense for the average man, unfortunately. It is what it is. So hope you guys enjoyed today's episode.